The two most common reasons people go to see plastic surgeons are undoubtedly wrinkles and laxity, otherwise known as sagging skin. But is surgery really the only solution? Well, cosmetic procedures certainly have their advantages. So if they fit into your lifestyle and budget, I'd definitely recommend looking into them. But the truth is, if people aren't ready for invasive treatments, there are ways to rejuvenate the look of aging skin at home as well. Now, people are always surprised when I say this. After all, many of my clients first come to me precisely because all the non-surgical solutions they've used before never seem to work. But here's the thing. When people try to self-correct the look of wrinkles and sagging, there's one critical step they tend to overlook. For instance, many women turn to topical products such as moisturizers and wrinkle creams, thinking they'll see results. And just to be clear, they're not wrong. A good skincare regimen is absolutely essential in the fight against aging. But what most people don't realize is, skin actually ages from the inside out. So if they're only treating its surface, they're missing the very root of the problem. Fortunately, this is also a very easy mistake to fix, and it doesn't require any dietary changes either.
Have you ever noticed that some women never seem to age? You know, the ones who still get asked for ID even in their 40s and stay inexplicably youthful well into their 80s. In all fairness, these women are pretty rare. But there's a good chance you've met one before, or perhaps you've just seen someone who fits this description on TV. Either way, you've probably caught yourself wondering, what's her secret, right? But while it's easy to assume that these women only look the way they do because they're either very dedicated, very lucky, or very rich, I'm here to tell you that in many cases, it's actually none of the above. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal what's really making these so-called super-agers look so young. So if you're a woman who's currently between the ages of 35 and 89, I encourage you to pay close attention, because I'll also show you a scientifically proven way to help transform your own appearance just by doing one very simple thing every morning. It's something you can do right at home in less than a minute. You see, the method I'm going to show you actually stems from a scientific discovery that was made many years ago. But most women still don't know about it because, well, for one thing, it's not exactly profitable for the commercial beauty industry. And second, it initially was believed to only work for men. Now, I'll talk more about that in just a moment. But in case we haven't met before, allow me to briefly introduce myself. Hi, my name is Dr. John Layke. Many people will recognize me as the co-founder of the world-renowned Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group, where my partner Dr. Payman Danielpour and I have been treating some of today's biggest stars for over a decade. Or from my appearances on TV shows such as The Doctors and Entertainment Tonight, where I'm often interviewed about the latest corrective procedures. But even though I'm best known for my work as a plastic surgeon, I've also dedicated a large portion of my career to searching for ways to defy the signs of aging without knives or needles. You see, I first started looking into this phenomenon after a chance encounter with two very unusual women at my clinic. Well, it wasn't exactly by chance. The first woman, let's call her Linda, had scheduled a consultation with me several weeks prior to discuss some possible treatments for sagging skin and wrinkles, so I already knew she'd be coming in. What I wasn't expecting, however, was for her to arrive with her grown daughter in tow, or at least that's who I immediately assumed the woman with Linda to be. But when she finally introduced us, I was speechless. "Oh, this is my sister Joanne," she said casually. "Oh, she's visiting in town this week, so I figured I'd bring her along. She's always wanted to see what a plastic surgery clinic looks like." Wait. I thought, Joanne looked about 20 years younger than Linda. At any rate, I guess I wasn't able to hide my confusion very well, because Linda's smile instantly disappeared. "You thought she was my daughter, didn't you?" I could feel my face turning red. "That's why I'm here, Dr. Layke. Joanne is only 2 years younger than me, but while I keep getting older and more wrinkled, she still looks like she's 30. What am I doing wrong?" I could tell this was a real point of frustration for Linda, and I truly felt for her. But here's the thing. At 63, Linda didn't actually look old for her age. Sure, she had noticeable wrinkles around her eyes and mouth, and the skin on her cheeks, neck, and jawline was starting to sag considerably. But these problems were extremely common among women her age. In fact, most people would consider them normal. So far as I could tell, Linda wasn't doing anything wrong. The real question was, what was Joanne doing differently? I politely asked Joanne if she was sure she'd never had any work done, even if it was just a round of dermal fillers or laser treatments at a beautician's office. But she swore she hadn't. "I live in a small town, Dr. Layke. We don't even have places that offer that sort of thing," she laughed. So I decided to ask some preliminary questions about their lifestyles. Both Joanne and Linda had never smoked. They rarely drank alcohol. They both had relatively healthy diets. And while they both admitted to tanning in their teens and 20s, there's no reason why sun damage would have affected one more than the other. Moreover, they both had 2 children and similarly demanding jobs, so even their stress levels couldn't have been that different. It made no sense. So as a last resort, I asked Joanne to walk me through her entire daily routine step by step from the time she woke up to the time she went to bed. And finally, I had my answer. It turns out there were actually 3 things Joanne did every day that worked together to keep her appearance from aging. So let's start with Joanne's first super ager habit. Well, actually, let me back up just a bit. I'll first need to tell you about something called DHT. It's a hormone that all human bodies naturally produce, so scientists have known about it for decades. But for a long time, its effect on women was largely ignored. This process was initially linked to baldness in men. But the truth is, DHT also plays a major role in how women look too. The only difference? In women, its effects are most visible on their skin. Now, that's not to say it can't cause thinning hair in women as well. It certainly can. But the biggest signs of increased DHT are actually loose, sagging skin, wrinkles, and loss of elasticity. Why? Because DHT inhibits your body's production of collagen. You see, collagen is the protein that keeps your skin firm, taut, and lifted. Now, your body's ability to produce collagen naturally slows down in the years before, during, and after menopause. But if it weren't for DHT, the effects wouldn't be nearly as obvious. Your production of collagen-blocking DHT simultaneously increases, making it even harder for your skin to fight gravity and maintain its youthful firmness. So at this point, you're probably wondering, okay, but what does this have to do with Joanne's daily routine? Well, here's the scoop. Even though Joanne wasn't big on skincare and makeup, for the past few years, she had been taking a natural herb called saw palmetto to help thicken her hair. Now, ordinarily, saw palmetto is used to help combat hair loss in men. In fact, Joanne said it was her husband who first introduced her to it. But she loved how full and healthy it made her hair look too, so she figured, why not? But remember what I said about DHT being linked to hair loss? Well, the reason saw palmetto is such an effective solution is it helps naturally inhibit the effects of this hormone, even as your body's production of it increases with age. In fact, in human trials, people who took saw palmetto were reported to have significantly lower levels of DHT in their system than the placebo group after just 6 months. So not only was the supplement doing wonders for Joanne's hair, it was actually helping her skin stay firmer and more lifted looking too. That said, if your goal is to look younger, taking saw palmetto by itself won't do you much good. Because while it's great for stabilizing your body's natural collagen production, it doesn't make up for the collagen that's already been lost. But as luck would have it, Joanne had unwittingly been pairing it with something that does. You see, as someone who liked to stay active, she'd always made a point to take care of her joints. So a while back, she began taking 2 additional dietary supplements each morning. The first was a blend of amino acids, as it was known to support strong, healthy joint cartilage. The second was something called dietary hyaluronic acid, which her doctor said would help keep her joints properly lubricated. But what Joanne didn't realize is they were clearly having a dramatic effect on her skin as well. You see, amino acids are actually the primary components of collagen. She was actually replenishing her skin's supply of collagen each and every day. And as for that hyaluronic acid she was taking, well, that was the finishing touch that solidified her super ager status. You see, hyaluronic acid is widely used as a moisturizing agent in topical skincare products, but this ultra-hydrating natural substance also plays an important role inside your body as well. In fact, that's where it's most important. Because on top of reducing joint friction, hyaluronic acid also acts as a volumizer for your skin. Well, hyaluronic acid is kind of like a built-in moisture magnet that helps your cells retain the hydration they need to stay full and plump. The problem is our body's natural supply of hyaluronic acid gradually dries up as we get older, which results in thinning skin, wrinkles, and a lifeless complexion. So while applying hyaluronic acid topically can certainly help with these problems temporarily, taking it in dietary form has been shown to deliver astronomically better results long term. I'm not kidding. In 2017, a study confirmed that after just 8 weeks of taking a hyaluronic acid supplement, participants, quote, showed significantly diminished wrinkles compared with the placebo group. And the reason for this is quite simple. The most effective way to correct problems like wrinkles and dull skin, especially once you're over 40, is by moisturizing from the inside out. So even if Joanne didn't realize it, the combination of supplements she'd been taking clearly came complete with some truly age-defying side effects. But before you run out to buy these same supplements for yourself, I must warn you, while the ingredients themselves are all backed by science, I strongly discourage you from using any of the collagen, saw palmetto, or hyaluronic acid supplements currently sold in U.S. stores. You see, back in 2015, the New York State Attorney General's office ran DNA tests on 24 popular supplements sold in major retailers, including some of the most popular brands of saw palmetto, and found that 19 of them didn't contain the advertised ingredient at all. After studying dozens of popular collagen, saw palmetto, and HA supplements myself recently, I discovered that they were all so diluted with fillers, there was barely a trace of the active ingredient in them. So if you're wondering why Joanne's formulas were so effective, it turns out she'd been ordering them directly from laboratories in Europe at a whopping cost of over $150 per bottle. Now, spending $500 every month to maintain this regimen might sound like a steal to my celebrity clients, but it was putting a serious strain on Joanne's finances. Well, in an effort to make Joanne's age-fighting regimen more accessible, my partner, Dr. Daniel Poor, and I decided to take matters into our own hands. After all, we had access to the world's best laboratory, so finding the purest and most powerful form of each ingredient wouldn't be a problem. And because we'd established good working relationships with their lead scientists, we could easily source them for a fraction of their standard cost. However, after doing some more research, we discovered that the skin-transforming effects of saw palmetto, collagen, and hyaluronic acid could actually be amplified even further with vitamins A and B. These two nutrients basically turbocharge the age-fighting process so that skin starts to look firmer and more taut even faster. So to make it easier to stick with the plan, we decided to try combining them into one multi-active formula instead. Not only were we able to successfully combine all 5 nutrients without altering their potency, but our process proved to be so precise it essentially fused them into an entirely new and more powerful complex. Because in test after test, its youth restoration properties vastly exceeded any supplement blend we'd seen before. In fact, we didn't even know what to call it at first. So we gave it the name Beverly Hills MD Dermal Repair Complex, because it quite literally worked to repair the appearance of aging skin with every dose. The first people we offered it to were Linda and Joanne. In fact, we sent them a complete 6-month supply for free as a way of thanking them for inspiring this incredible discovery. And you won't believe what happened. Obviously, Joanne was thrilled to no longer have to spend extravagant amounts of money on her supplements, but it was her sister Linda's transformation that really blew us away. You see, after just a few weeks of taking our formula, she saw her skin start to look noticeably younger. After 2 months, the sagging skin on her cheeks and jawline that used to bother her so much didn't even get her attention when she looked in the mirror. And by the 3rd month, Linda couldn't even remember where her deepest wrinkles used to be, because she hadn't even thought about them in weeks. Now, I know looks aren't everything, but I have to admit, my new appearance has really changed my life for the better, she said in an email to me. But it wasn't just Linda who saw a dramatic difference with this formula. Our other clients were absolutely blown away too. After all, Dr. Daniel Poor and I had clearly accomplished a groundbreaking scientific feat with this formula. So on a professional level, this was a real career highlight. I'm thrilled to report that as of right now, we have enough Dermal Repair Complex in stock to ship you your very own supply. Here's what you need to know. Beverly Hills MD Dermal Repair Complex is a next-generation youth restoration formula that you take 2 capsules of daily with breakfast, or any meal of your choice. Now, as I mentioned earlier, taking these ingredients individually would cost you upwards of $500 each month. However, because we have good working relationships with our suppliers, we're able to order these premium grade actives in bulk for a fraction of the price. A full month supply costs our clients just $58.99. But because you took the time to watch this important research report today, I won't even charge you the standard $58.99. Just press the button below this video and you'll be taken to a private order page where you can secure your supply of Beverly Hills MD Dermal Repair Complex for just $39.95 a bottle. That's only $1.33 a day to help turn back the clock on your appearance and keep your skin looking fresh, healthy, and youthful for the long haul. That's also why we go the extra mile and have each and every batch of our supplements third-party tested to ensure that what you see is exactly what you get. We also only use labs that adhere strictly to the FDA standards for good manufacturing practices, CGMP, to ensure that our supplements are of the purest quality possible. I am so confident you'll see a complete difference with Dermal Repair Complex. I'm making this offer totally risk-free, so you can feel comfortable trying it today, seeing how it works for you, and then deciding whether or not you'd like to keep it. That means if you find yourself unsatisfied with your purchase for any reason in the first 90 days of using it, or even if you simply change your mind, you can send it right back to us, even if it's all used up, and receive a full refund of your money. No questions, no hassle, no hard feelings. So click on the link below to give it a try today. Thanks again for your time and attention. I'm Dr. John Layke with the Beverly Hills Plastic Surgery Group and Beverly Hills MD, wishing you a happy and healthy journey towards inner skin health.